Hello everybody and welcome to Amphlett Reviews. Today we're doing an extra special video, a collaboration with the Asian Cinema Circle, and this one presents top 5 fight sequences within Hong Kong cinema. This is my second official video with the community, with the actual group itself. Some fantastic YouTubers are on board in these videos, so if you're tuning in right now to watch this video, please go and check out the list in the description for the other fantastic YouTubers that have also taken involved in this. This is a very exciting list. It's our second official one. From last year we did top 5 Hong Kong actresses that went really well and everyone really enjoyed that. This is a very difficult list, as you probably could imagine. Top 5 fight sequences of Hong Kong cinema. That's like, you know, picking only 5 Hong Kong movies to own in your entire collection. It ain't gonna happen. So this has been a very difficult kind of task, presented by Hong Kong Blues. Thank you very much for presenting the idea, and it's been very fun to kind of, you know, think about which ones I really like and which ones really connect to me. There are so many good ones. There are so many ones that I wish I could put on this list. There probably could be a lot of honourable mentions, but this is going to be the top 5 ones specifically that really connect with me, the ones that I really stuck in my mind, the ones that I instantly thought, okay, which ones instantly write down on a piece of paper do I remember, which ones do I laugh at, which ones do I quote or kind of reference in other videos, and I think I've narrowed it down. I will do one honourable mention very quickly. So my first and only honourable mention in the video I'm going to say very quickly would be the IP Man, the fantastic Donnie Yen film, the very first one. The reason why I took this out of the top 5 is because the more I thought about it, this isn't really a fight sequence, this is more of a smackdown. Donnie Yen, super pissed off, lots going on, Japanese are coming in, they're resting up his shit, killing his friends off, you know, he's had to change his entire lifestyle, his family's put at risk, and he basically comes in there and literally beats the shit out of these like 10 students. I've never seen anything quite like this up until that point, and I didn't think I would expect to see this within this type of movie. An incredible fight sequence, not a fight sequence really, just a fantastic demonstration of Donnie Yen's kind of a capability on screen. IP Man is my honourable mention. So let's get stuck into the top 5 fight sequences within Hong Kong cinema. Number 5, Killer Constable. What can I say? This film is fantastic. I love this film. This is one of the most surprising kind of Shaw Brothers movies I saw of last year. And the fight sequence I'm referring to, if you watch my Hong Kong review also, is the main fight between the Killer Constable and this kind of Western kind of, you know, assassin kind of, you know, hitman character. You know, he's the character at this point, he's really pissed off, he's really angry, he's losing his friends left, right and centre. A fair little bar in the middle of nowhere, and he's basically trying to track down these bandits, and for some reason this assassin, this, you know, really well-known kind of, you know, hitman, is tracking him, he's there with him, and he doesn't want to fight him because he knows how dangerous he is, he knows how much, you know, he's killed so many people, and this leads to, of course, an actual fight sequence, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. I love it. Definitely got this kind of inferential kind of Western kind of approach to it in terms of its kind of like literal 2 guns popping out, kind of, you know, dual style, but instead of actual guns, he's whipping out 2 massive ass blade swords, and it's just fantastic. It's a really intense fight sequence, and I honestly watching it thinking, I don't know who's going to win this because they're both equally matched. They're both really going for it, and I love how dirty the assassin's fighting. Killer Constable's really kind of showing off his skill set at this point. He's really going for it, and it's just a great fight sequence. It's something that I instantly always remember, and you know, I love the outcome of it, and I love the kind of the emotional attachment to it as well. I think it's a really well presented, really well crafted fight sequence. I love the scenery, I love the performers also involved. Just a really all round intense, well crafted fight sequence that has a mixture of kind of traditional martial arts, but also with some fun kind of, you know, weaponry kind of thing as well, with swords and kind of, you know, gadgets and all sorts of little things. So just a really fantastic, memorable fight sequence for me, and it definitely deserves my 5th spot on this list. And number 4 is Righting Wrongs. Of course I got to put this on the list. This film is fantastic. I absolutely love this film so much. I've loved it since the first time I watched it. I watched it a few times now, and I keep going back to that fight sequence. The film itself is just really well presented. I really like it. It's a nice solid thriller that has some really nice set pieces, great performances, and of course I'm referring to the fantastic showdown finale at the end of the film. You know, a character has been killed, surprisingly. I didn't see that coming. I always love fight sequences. We have a lot of energy and a lot of adrenaline kind of fueled, and I love how this kind of sequence is presented, and especially in the kind of the environment and it's presented also in. They're using the plane, they're using the cars, they're using kind of throwing at each other and using backflips, and just fantastic kind of wide shots, fantastic kind of editing choices as well, I think, and it really complements both performers. You can tell they're really going for the amount of sweat that kind of going off their fucking arms and face kind of thing, the close-ups, the intensity of this fight sequence, and who's going to win, who's going to get the upper hand kind of thing. Just a really incredible kind of, layered piece fight sequence on top of a film that has so many good fight sequences on top already. This is definitely one of my favourites from the film, and I think it really kind of closes in and really kind of homes in on this epic build-up the film's been building up to. I love Righting Wrongs. Fantastic fight sequence, definitely one of my favourites. And even the end of the film, I think, is even more shocking. This film has so many surprises and layers to it kind of thing. I really can't wait for this film to get proper official 88 film release, or Eureka release, depends who owns the rights to it. At number 3, it is Dragons Forever. Of course, how can I not put this film on my list? There are so many good Jackie Chan films, but Dragons Forever definitely deserves my top 3 spot on this list. You have the Dragon Trio itself, you have Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, Won Boyong, and you get this fantastic kind of warehouse, drug facility kind of fight sequence between all three. Every one has a fantastic piece, and they're just really going for the rig end, just throwing themselves in this environment, using everything from glass to kind of doors to kind of bars, and just jumping down from the kind of the top area to the bottom floor, and meeting and encountering so many different types of goons and main bad guys. And you've got 2 fantastic kind of main villains in the film also, on top of many goons, and it's just incredible. There is not a single scene within that third act that I do not love and do not rewind to see how the hell they did this. Death-defying stunts. I can imagine how many takes they must have done to get some of these sequences right, and thankfully the editing is perfect. Thankfully the kind of the direction and the kind of the pace between back and forth between these 3 characters just really is incredible to watch. And you get second rivalries and second kind of fight sequence. Everyone gets a moment in the film, which I think is incredible. One of the scenes that I constantly keep talking about between me and my friend, it's a bit of a joke between me and my friend, is the scene between Won Boyong and this kind of goon character, and he literally gets his ass kicked back, and he does this kind of incredible kind of pancake fold, and I do not understand how that person survived. How the hell is he not broken his back? Person's still alive. I hope he's actually got insurance or something on this film. It's an incredible shot, and I think it's a one take one. You got a second wave fighting between Jackie Chan and Benny Young, which I think is fantastic, from Meals on Wheels, which is brilliant, and just a really cool, he's just randomly there, just testing drugs. I love it. An all-round amazing film Dragons Forever is, and for comedy, for performances, just to see these kind of 3 main performers all together in the same film, playing 3 wacky characters, and they all come together to take on this kind of drug facility. The third act fight sequence is incredible for all 3 performers involved. At number 2, we have Fist of Legends, starring Jet Li. Wow, what an incredible fucking film. This is a lot back and forth, as you can imagine, a very difficult list. I'm my kind of top 3, top 2, and this had to be in it because Fist of Legends was a pure surprise watching it. I really got into kind of Jet Li movies from Once Upon a Time in China, and just kind of re-exploring his movies and just kind of get a re-appreciation. Jet Li as an actual actor, as a performer. Not just watching American movies where he's co-starring or play the villain role, or just offering a couple of fight sequences here and there. These movies are really kind of demonstrating how good he is as an actual on-screen presence, how good of a fighter, how good of a performer he is. And this film complements on many different levels in terms of story, in terms of kind of action, in terms of just honor and respect, and just great love story as well. This film has everything. Fist of Legends is an incredible movie, and has many good fight sequences in it, and some of my personal favourites are in this film. I love the opening section where he kind of goes back home to kind of Hong Kong because his master's been killed, been defeated, and he goes in there and literally whips the shit out of this guy, and within 2 seconds, and says, "No, you did not defeat my master. There's no hell way. If I can beat you within fucking 2 minutes, how the hell did you kill and how did you defeat my master in the process?" I love that, and this all builds up to the excellent third act between Billy Chung and Jet Li within the kind of the Dojo kind of temple. Everything's been building up to this point, and it is an incredible fight sequence. Again, Good use of environments, good use of location. This has already been previously established within the film itself, within many sequences before that. So it's always a good thing within fight sequences when you kind of know the lay of the land a little bit, if you know what's in this location, what the limitations are, what the weapons are, and what things can be taken advantage of. And I love that Billy Chung's character is just so dishonorable, and he's just picking up weapons and picking up random objects to kind of use to kind of slow down Jet Li's kind of character. A really kind of intense, adrenaline-fueled fight sequence that just, again, two performers really just kind of showing what they're made of, and just kind of, having a lot of fun and doing these amazing kind of stunt sequences and doing these kind of impossible kind of one-take wonders. Jet Li's on fire in this film. I think he's never been better in this film compared to some of his other ones. Billy Chung is just really chewing the scenery. He's really having a lot of fun. You may remember him from Robotrix, from the recent '88 release. Definitely one of my favourite fight sequences ever. I think it's just a really kind of powerhouse, non-stop kind of sequence that just goes on for such a long time, and it's incredible to watch. Definitely one of my favourites, and definitely earns my second place within this list for sure. And last but not least, my number one favourite top 5 fight sequences in Hong Kong cinema. An impossible list, an incredible kind of selection this far. It has to go to Young Master.
Now get up.
And this may come as a surprise to you, this may be shocking. Hey, where's all these other movies? Where's this? Where's that? I'm happy to discuss that in the comments below. I really sat down and thought about it and thinking which films have really kind of gobsmacked me watching it. There's quite a few, and I didn't want to say every single Jackie Chan film on this list, and I had to kind of narrow it down to one specific one, apart from a couple of collaborations, of course, from Dragons Forever. But Young Master, I think, offered probably one of the best fight sequences I think I've ever seen in my entire life, and I think it's hard to deny that. It's his first Golden Harvest film he did with the production company. An incredible comedy, mixture of comedy and action and fun, and just really demonstrating how good Jackie Chan is, going away from Shaw Brothers, going into his own kind of production, and really kind of demonstrating on so many different levels how much of a capable actor and performer and just comedian he is on set. It's a really funny film. It's a really well presented kind of comedy action film, and I love this. This is a pure surprise, and again, just a nice factor just delivered. A great story on top of it as well, kind of thing, with some rich characters. A fantastic release from '88 films. Watching the extended cut also, and the fight I'm mentioning, and you all know this, is the finale kind of third act fight between Jackie Chan and the master character, this villain character that's been kind of building up for the entire film. He's not been in that much. He's been referenced to quite a few times, but the showdown has been building up to that point, and how deadly this character is, how dangerous this character is, and it ends on this kind of massive kind of hilltop fight sequence, and you've got this kind of side character as well, where Young Chung, who's just kind of egging every character on kind of thing. He's kind of going back and forth between these two characters. It's really funny. It's got a fantastic kind of scenery to it. I really love the look of it and the location of it. You can definitely tell it's in the middle of nowhere, and it's just a beautiful kind of landscape, beautiful blue sky. And again, it's just Jackie Chan just going for it. And the good thing about it, and one of the things I really appreciate within the fight, is that Jackie Chan is not this kind of legendary kind of fighter, master character. He's not going in there and just kicking the shit out of them. He is someone who is a little cocky, who's a little bit trouble, and he's been getting himself into a lot of mischief throughout the entire film, and he's got some skill, he's got some quick reflexes, but he's not an amazing fighter per se, really, in terms of the character. Smacked down for the good portion of it, this master character, this villain character, is just wailing on fucking Jackie Chan. He's beating the shit out of him, he's knocking him down, he's getting tired, he's getting frustrated, he's just getting the wind knocked out of him, he needs water every time, he's just out of fucking energy, he's out of breath kind of thing. I love the kind of the small little details of that, and this master character is just loving it. He's quoting evil dialogue as he usually is, and Jackie just keeps going back, and it's wearing him out, and I love how it's just how calculated, how well crafted, how timed the fight sequence is. I think it's a really good lengthy kind of fight sequence within the extended cut, definitely for sure. I've never seen Jackie Chan offer that type of level before. Obviously we've seen kind of Meals on Wheels and many other movies kind of thing, but during that kind of time within a Golden Harvest movie, and the movies before that, where you do with Shaw Brothers and some of these other kind of directors, I've never seen Jackie Chan up until that point anyway, maybe kind of Fearless Hyena for the exception, just go through that kind of consistent level of kind of, you know, a character that just wants to fucking win and wants to kind of literally try and do whatever he can to take this guy out, and he literally takes him out by draining him out as well and getting him tired, getting him, making him use all of his best moves, making him use all of his kind of smackdown beatdowns, and you know, by the end, it's Jackie that has the most persistent kind of wins, and it's just incredible to watch. Absolutely amazing fight sequence. Horseshoe of Will, an amazing fight sequence that just is incredible to watch on screen. And the best thing to top the whole film off and to kind of end it on a kind of cherry on top, ending a sequence where he's literally just covered in bandages. He's covered with this joint cast from head to toe. He's literally every single essence of his body, bone, you know, muscle, everything is covered in this kind of like cast because he's literally been broken to death. I love it's a perfect way to end the film. It's a classic Jackie Chan kind of comedy to end it, and it makes sense. You know, you literally thrown yourself at this character for a good portion of the third act of the film, and no wonder he's kind of crippled and injured. Yeah, Young Master is definitely my number one spot for sure. And that concludes the video, guys. It's been my top 5 Hong Kong fight sequences presented by the Asian Cinema Circle group. Hope you enjoyed watching this video, guys. Please go and check out the other amazing channels that are taking involved in this kind of collaboration video. There's some fantastic lists for sure. I'm very curious to see which one reigns number 1 on our lists. So meantime, guys, I'm for reviews. Signing out.